Hello, and in this video, we are going to share with you how to launch a new coaching program. If you are new to our world, hello, my name is Holly Uxted.
And Chad Oxted.
And first off, to create and launch a new coaching program, you really need to know who your ideal clients are and the very specific results that you get them. Like the more clear that you are around these things, the more successful your launch is going to be.
Yeah, so real quick, I wonder like who this is for. So even if you're an established coach and you've already been doing one-on-one and you're packed to the brim and you're like, I want to launch something a little bit more leverage,
We got you.
this is for you. If you're a new coach and you're like, I'm looking to launch a new program, and maybe one of the things we recommend is actually to do one-on-one. So if you're not very clear on the result that you help people get, you're not very clear on who your ideal person is, do one-on-one so you can get clearer on who that ideal person is, what the results are. The best way to figure out who your ideal person is, just start
Working with people.
working with people.
And honestly, that's going to make you an even better coach. Like the more that we coach, the better it is that we get. So if you're brand new, I freaking love that for you. I want to acknowledge you for really taking on this dream and this vision and creating a new coaching program. I would say be very simple. Start just package into like a 3-month one-on-one, meet with them every week. High five. You'll get really clear on what you love, who you love, what you love to do, who maybe you do not love to work with, and get really refined through the process. And then you can create a new coaching program and start switching over from the one to many model. So let's talk about that and like what it looks like. Did you have anything else that you want to say? So let's talk about like what it looks like to first, in order to launch a new coaching program, you got to create the program, right? So let's talk about like real quickly some tips on how, and really the process and steps on how to create a new coaching program so that you can launch it.
So one of the things you got to get really clear on is when you're creating a program, who is the specific, what's the specific results? What's the specific person? And I think it nailing a bullseye, like if you're playing darts, right? And like you're going to speak to, create the messaging for that bullseye. So the person that you can make this program is going to make the biggest impact for, the person that you love to spend the most time with, and that you would just do this for free, but you're not going to because we're all worth a lot of money. And
the worker is worth his wages.
Yes. And profit, who has the resources to actually pay you. And now the cool thing is this program is going to benefit more than that. It's going to benefit people that maybe don't have all the resources. Maybe they need a payment plan. That's fine. Maybe it's the people that, you can make an impact with, but it's going to be maybe it's a little bit more challenging. But we want to speak to the best clients. We attract those ones, and you're going to get maybe that 80-20 rule of 80% the ones you love. You get 20% of the people that maybe are going to be a little bit more challenging. And that's cool. That's totally cool.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people kind of struggle with this, like, I don't want to niche down. I can help everyone. And when you have the mindset of like, I can help everyone, then you really end up helping no one. It's like shouting to the rooftops, like, hey, I can change your life. But nobody is going to hear you. Like, okay, weirdo, quit yelling at us, or just completely block you out. But it's only going to take a whisper of the right things to the right people, and they're going to turn real quick, right? So it's even like, hey, Sarah, this is how to launch your new coaching program.
Yep.
Right? Like super direct, super clear. And then your people will start hearing the message and who needs to be in the program. And it works like that.
All right. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to really outline the process. So there's like a step-by-step. If you think of like a book report when you're in school, and you take the step-by-step. So this is where your client starts. And this is where your client, the end result of the program. What's the step-by-step process of getting them to that result? And so that's how you structure your outline. And then, like Holly was just saying, is the very specific results in those steps, because nobody wants fluffy, airy results. People don't spend money on that. Only if they have like extra tons of money. If your clients are like super wealthy, maybe, or you have a really low cost program, they might be able to spend some money on something that's a nice to have, but we want real results for real people.
Once you really have the bullseye result of what it is that your program is going to do. And this is really like an umbrella, because if I had to guess, like, you do a lot of different modalities, you have a lot of different ways that you help people. So look at the overall umbrella of how it is that you help people, and then create, like, you can even have like create a model, or create like, really, okay, this program is going to have this umbrella. And from there, you're going to kind of reverse engineer into an outline of like, what do I need to do to get this result?
Yeah, one of the things we want to just real quick, what is a model? And how does that actually work? Or at least pillars for the program explain what a model is and pillars and how that works, because they might not know exactly what that means.
Yeah, so creating a model, this is really how you create your unique process. And I think it's much easier to do as you start the outline and start looking like, okay, what is the pathway? Right, and break it down and super simplify that into really 3 areas of encompassing, right? So if you have 3 areas, like for us, our 3 pillars are to attract your ideal clients, enroll them into a program, and be in performance, not the hustle, throughout all of it. So those are the areas that we work with. So for you, break it down into 3 main areas, and then you can do programs either based on each area, or create like it. Ultimately, people need to see the pathway that you have a plan to be able to help them. Right? So you want to create that over umbrella, you want to create that outline. And then once you create the outline, you can see like how people ask, like, how long should my new coaching program be? And my answer to this, and I'd love to hear your input too, is my answer to this would be, how long is it going to take? I feel like some people are like, oh, it's got to be 90 days. It's got to be 12 weeks. It's got to be 8 weeks. It's got to be how long it's going to take them to get the result that you're promising in the program. That would be my response. Do you have something that would be different?
No, that's good. It's really like, what's it gonna take the people that are mediumly slow, right? Like there's gonna be the people that are like can get through this and they can put all the time in. But then if you want to, the best clients are busy clients, and sometimes they're not going to be able to get through. So you want to give them a little bit of wiggle room and catch up time, and to be able to work through the program. So that's a good thing to think of.
All right. So from there, you have created your outline. That is all you need. You do not need to like go create all of the courses and have all these fancy slides for all the modules. Create the whole thing before you launch it.
Oh my God.
Please do not do that. There is nothing worse than this lie of like, build it and they will come.
They will
Build
not
it
come.
as you go. All right. So just most importantly, so you have the length, you're going to put a price on it. Like, what is the final price that I see the value of this? This is what, like, I do pricing. I feel like we could do a whole video on pricing here. I think we're actually going to. So if you're not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe so that you get that video. But ultimately, I feel like pricing is a very intuitive thing. Like, you know how much it costs. You know the value of what it is that you're going to deliver. So really listen. A lot of building your business and launching a new coaching program is around following your intuition. And so really intuitively, what is the number that is coming to you, and what's the value of the program? Price it at that. Now let's break down the launch. So now you have an incredible program. Now we want to talk about the launch. And a really common question that we get is, how long should you be in launch mode? Like, how long does it take to launch a new coaching program?
Yeah, and I've never seen anybody like go, oh, I'm gonna go too long. I've never heard of anybody that's like, oh, I'm gonna be launching, and I'm like, oh wow, that is a long launch and a long amount of time. It's usually the other way around. People are like, oh yeah, a week, right? A week is good. Like that's a good amount of time to like really get the people out there, like get the words out. It's not enough, right? And so I'll give you this. It's like when we launch something, we are usually doing, we're gonna do an event. I know we're talking.
Well, actually, like, let's break it down week by week.
Yeah.
I would say about a month is like really you get to be intuitive around this. It could even be a month and a half, 2 months, but month is totally okay. If you're like an action taker and just like ready to get going and like really do this, a month can work. So first things first, I I believe that nurturing, like you are always showing up. Ultimately, we're doing this organically. You can do ads. I don't suggest that you do ads until you have an offer, you know that it works. Start with organic, start with what you have. And from there, you know, it's just about nurturing your audience. So you're going to start creating content really that's incongruent with your program and offer. What you're doing here is you're setting yourself up as the expert in this industry. You know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing, like, and you're showing it, you're showing social proof, you're showing testimonials, you're activating like thought processes in people. Like, you're a thought leader. People hire leaders. So how are you showing up as a leader that you are the authority in your industry? So from there, I would take a couple days in this first week of like start creating some curiosity with your audience. Like, something's coming, make sure you keep your eyes out. Oh my gosh, this is so big, like mind blown kind of thing. So like you're creating curiosity, you're getting people to kind of watch and see like, what is she doing? Right? Now, week 2.
This is like really about how do we show that you are the authority, right? How can we show that you've gotten these results? So if you've worked with a bunch of one-on-one clients, especially on this topic, now is the time to you interview those clients, take the screenshots of the testimonials that they've given you, the case studies, maybe they've done, go back to, we recommend to get wins on every coaching call. So go back, if you've done that already, go cut those out in little clips and share those wins.
And make sure you communicate with your clients.
Yeah, get permission. We put it in the, in the agreement when they join. Hey, we're going to share your results everywhere. And so how can we share that you are the expert in getting this specific result for these specific people?
I want to kind of touch on that because some people are like, yeah, but I have really sacred work that I do with my client and I'm like, they're not okay with sharing. That is completely okay. And I completely understand and honor and acknowledge you. So what you can do is you can just like, help me celebrate my client. Like, he is feeling more energetic. He's lost 5 pounds and I'm like so thrilled that he's connected with his family again. Like, you don't have to tell people's names. You don't have to like, just a simple, like, help me celebrate my client who blank, and just keep it completely anonymous, right? And that is okay. So there's ways to do this. I want you to feel, ultimately, we're going to talk about the energetics of all of this in a bit. This gets to be really fun and feel really empowered for you. So if cutting things out from a call like doesn't feel aligned, empowered, or integritous to you, or your clients are not okay with it, there's another way that you can share wins without doing that. So I just wanted to lay that out.
Yeah, the other thing I will say is it's all, and you can blur people's names and whatever, but screenshots are so much better than like like it's like drawn out on like this fancy like writing. It's like you took the testimonial and you put it into some thing that they don't know if you just copied it off of a book review off of Amazon, or like
you don't need to make things pretty, like everything pretty. Screenshots are really powerful, but I also don't want to discourage you if you don't have them yet, that you can't still have social proof, because you totally can.
Absolutely.
So that's all around like week 2. So you're just gonna like continually be posting. Like from there, like you had the like, something's coming, watch out. Well, then you want to start creating content around it and introduce your offer. We like to do like a hot post, is what we call it, is, hey, I'm looking for 5 women who want to lose the stubborn belly fat around their waist, that this is for you if you've tried everything and you haven't gotten the results that you want yet. If like you're ready to take action, you're tired of doing the same things that aren't working, you're tired of busting your butt at the gym and not seeing the scale go down, comment below, right? Like, so what I did there is like, I'm really speaking directly to that woman who has that stubborn weight, who is going to the gym, she's eating the right food, she's doing all of the things, and she's still not losing weight, right? It's probably a hormonal problem or something, and that's what your program solves. So you want to speak these unspoken truths to people, invite them into your program. And in the back of your mind, be thinking about like, what kind of masterclass can I create? What kind of workshop can I create around this that is a good lead-in into my program? And we're going to create that here in the next week. So Week 2 is all about like internally, you're thinking about like what type of workshop. You can even start thinking about this in week 1. What type of workshop, what can I do here that can really promote this? And meanwhile, be creating content that is adding the invitation. I would do like a pre-sale for the first couple weeks, launch this, and like if they join in by a certain date, they get the pre-sale price, because after the masterclass, the price is going to go up, right? So you talk about that, and then as people are joining, like this person joined, this person joined, this person joined, like welcome into this person. Like you're creating momentum and movement through the process. You're sharing testimonials, you're sharing people coming in, people are starting to see that other people are coming in. Like you start like really bringing in the energy and calling in your clients at this point. From there, you're gonna like launch. So week 3, I would even say between week 2 and week 3, launch the masterclass. This doesn't have to be something super complicated and techy and have the funnel and the 7-day email sequence and all of the things. It could easily just be a Zoom registration. You want to talk about this?
Yeah, it's really about getting the people that haven't seen how you can help yet, right? It's like how can you add value, show your process, handle those like those objections that people have, those limiting beliefs, and really be able to show the process of how you help people, and then being able to book calls, right? We talked about, or we're going to talk about this, is like we're jumping ahead, but it's cool. A lot of times people have resistance of actually getting on calls with people, and it's like I don't know if it's like a fear of rejection, or it's like I get a little bit of like some kind of coaches, like they have some arrogance, or like, oh, I'm too good to get on
I'm
calls.
not getting on sales calls.
I don't need to get on sales calls. People want my stuff so bad.
And honestly, it's totally possible to sell through DMs. 1,000,000% can sell through your content alone. I'm not knocking that whatsoever, but I will say that there are people who just need a conversation. And we have had multiple clients who like didn't want to get on calls. They only wanted to sell through their DMs. They weren't getting the conversions that they want. And when they got on calls, they filled their coaching programs. So let's go through. So you're going to have the masterclass. It's going to freaking rock. You're going to have a call to action to have a conversation to see if this program is a good fit. So everything is congruent with you here. And in week 4, it's literally like, hey, this is the launch date. We're getting started. You want to join now. You're following up with everyone who went on the masterclass, anyone that you've had a conversation with through these last 4 weeks. Follow up. You hear the fortune is in the follow up. So follow up with these people, have conversations, see what it is that's stopping them from, like, what is it that's keeping you from a yes to this program? Get on calls if you need to. Like, this is like you get to cause your business and your results. So let this last week, like let
Full
all of
neon
this
light.
full neon light, right? I will say like that's where let's actually give some tips. So this is week 4. Boom, you have like been at cause to fill your program. You've put in the work, you've put in the focus, you've, talked to all the people, and then you freaking launch your program, start, collect the testimonials, talk about like some of the experiences people are having during the program, sharing some of the value. After coaching calls that I have, I'm like, okay, what did I get from that? Where someone was maybe struggling or what they needed help with, how can I create that content out in my social media? And again, I never use names. I don't even say that it's most of the time I don't even say that it was about a client, right? But I've had clients message me like, I think you were talking about me. And I'm like, it was to go, like help the good of the world. Like if you think this post is about you, it probably is. And it's never bad. It's always empowering to help other people be able to get through what it is that they want, right? But that's how we can become better coaches. That's how we can show up more powerfully online, is by working with clients and talking to the results that they want and be able to overcome those objections and stuff. So let's give some tips around, like some good tips around launching a new coaching program, just keeping in mind as you're going through this process and you're turning on your neon light and, really shining.
Yeah, well, one of the things, and this is like you need to actually plan your rest and planning and getting out of the office. Like you'll be so in it, and you're like jazzed up and excited about the launch. Ideally, that's one of the necessary jazz fingers. That you need to actually plan and get out of it, right? You need to go take a walk. You need to go have fun doing something that's not it, right? You need to take time to it's like self-care like times 2, because you're exerting so much energy filling this program.
So I heard a great saying once is the magic is in the space between the notes, or the music is in the space between the notes. Magic, music, whatever you want to create. So when you create space for yourself, something that is honoring yourself, really calling it your energy back to you, holding your place, a space in a place of groundedness, then like I'll say we have like got ready for an event. We've launched a podcast. We've served our clients. Like to the normal person, people are like, holy smokes, how are you doing all of that? And for us, it's like, well, we have the practices and the tools where we care about ourselves, and I'm not going to burn myself out. Then there's a difference between being in performance and hustling, right? So make sure that you take care of yourself, go ground yourself in nature, do what it is that you need to do for your mental and physical and intellectual and emotional well-being.
And all the good ideas actually come from the rest time. I know that I think it's like Thomas Edison and Firestone and Henry Ford would go fishing, and they would but they wouldn't even be fishing for fish. They're just fishing for ideas. And I remember there was another one, I think it was Thomas Edison, he'd put like a ball bearing in his hand and like hold it in his hand. And the idea was to like relax and just almost like go into a meditation to like relax as much as possible. And then like when the ball bearing would fall, like before he fell asleep, and it would keep him awake. But it would put him in such a low like idea phase. And that's where all of his best ideas.
Yeah. So kind of moving into the next one, your energetics behind everything that you do is so important. That's why care and groundedness and meditation and, taking care of yourself is the number one tip that we will say, because the number two is the energetics about it. So if you were becoming tired, you're becoming like resentful of what you're doing, you hate this launch thing. Like I can't stand posting every day. I hate marketing. I blah, 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 blah. Like, and your brain starts spiraling. Well, your energetics shows that. And people won't hire people who have energetics that are not on fire, right? You want to make sure like as you're creating your program, and as like in the creation process of your coaching program, you get so fired up about it. Like, oh my gosh, this is freaking fire. People are going to freaking love this. Like embody it, own it. You're a badass. You are called to be a coach. This was a divinely led, inspired idea by you. And it just kind of freaking rock, right? You get to hold that energy through the whole thing, no matter how you're feeling, right? And I get that takes something, but that's why we're coaches, and that's why we're leaders, and that's why we can do what we do, because we can hold this, right? So you get to be fully in your power, fully excited about what it is you're doing. And if there's something there that you are not excited about, if there's something there that you do not love, that is not lighting you up in some sort of way, switch it up. So that
yeah, and well, and that kind of gets into the next thing is like we're creating an offer, right? Like it's Alex Hormozi is like creating an offer, so sexy that people feel dumb saying no. Well, it's not just creating the offer for them to buy, but it's the offer for you. So if you create the offer so good that it's like, wow, I have this thing that's so valuable, then you'll be more excited to get it out there and to promote it. So it's like a double edge thingy about her.
Yeah. So look at your marketing as making an impact. Look at your sales as a transformation in other people's lives. You're going to do absolutely amazing. We've actually created a whole other resource. You can find it in the descriptions below. It's how to package your genius and go from 5K a month in your coaching business to 50K in your coaching business. So go ahead and get that now. The link is below. I so appreciate and honor what it is that you're up to in the world. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, make sure that you subscribe, because we are posting new content weekly for you to grow and scale your coaching business and really be the coach that you know that you're called to be. Sending you so much love. See you on the next video.
Yeah.